couple more words on vibrato. If you watch my last vibrato video series, it was part 1 and part 2. I talked about the final stages where you get your vibrato going in 4th position like this, and then eventually you take it down to 1st position. So if you haven't seen that video, I will link it above and below. Also, this is a wrist vibrato that I'm discussing right now, so I want to elaborate a little bit further on that. Basically, once you've taken all the steps, I believe there are 7 steps or 8 steps, then what I have my students do is I just have them work on every single finger now. So we start with the strongest finger, that's the most comfortable, and we play at least 4 bows on it. So I'll take like in 4th position, I'll take my 2nd finger and I'll do 4 bows. So making sure I'm stabilizing my arm here so my wrist is not wobbling like that, and making sure all the action is happening back here. So 4 bows. At least 4, maybe 8 bows. So I'm not really interested about how it sounds. Yes, it should be rather wide. It should be pretty regular. That's what I'm listening for. But it's okay if it sounds a bit strange and whiny and like a siren. It's completely fine. I'm just looking for regularity and width if possible. And once you do that, then you take the other fingers. So just full bows, frog, tip. If it takes a while for it to stabilize, then just take more bows, extra bows, and then you do the 4th finger, do the 1st finger. If the student's able to do that, I just kind of, give them that assignment for a week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, until it's looking pretty comfortable. And then what I tell them to do is don't lean so hard. So you're just touching very lightly here, and then you're doing it again. So just very, very lightly. And usually after about a week or 2, they're able to do it pretty well. And then I say, okay, now quickly take it down here. And I tell them, pretend like there's something, keeping this steady here. And then they are able to do it. If it gets a little bit like this again, then I tell them, okay, let's go back to the 4th position and barely touch it here. So they're remembering the feeling of something stabilizing them here, like training wheels. And then quickly they go back and see if they can keep this still again. Now, at this stage, if we've really given it our best try and it's still a little bit, not working out so well, and they end up having a bit of stiffness here, then it could, just turn into an arm vibrato. So do you see how this is locked up here? And the motion is coming really from the larger muscles here. So if it turns into a bit of that, then I actually just let it be, because I try to advocate individuality. So I really look at the students' physiology. Like everybody's proportions are different. So even the digits, like every digit and every, section of the finger, the thumb, the hand, the arms, like some people have much, longer, upper arm and forearm compared to their body, or maybe their hands are larger compared to their arm length. This is why, for fractional instruments, I actually don't have a set size per student. It does, the height and everything and the age is a general indication, but I do move a student earlier to a higher, to a larger instrument sometimes if their physiology calls for it, and sometimes I keep a student in a smaller instrument a bit longer than I would for someone else. So we always have to think about these things. So anyway, if the student naturally just gravitates towards arm vibrato at this point, I just let it be. As long as I feel like we've given the wrist vibrato a fair chance. So that's fine. And the final thing I wanted to do is also show you how to develop the vibrato. So once a student has been using their vibrato in their pieces, so like if they're able to do vibrato in first position, the first thing I do is usually assign them a review piece that has a lot of long values, like for example, chorus from Judas Maccabeus, the first song in Suzuki Book 2, and I tell them to vibrate all of the long values. They don't have to do the eighth notes, but at least try to vibrate the longer values. And then I start incorporating the vibrato into their repertoire. And once that is pretty good and they've been doing it for a while, I give them this next vibrato exercise I'm about to show you.